Have you ever noticed that there's a lot of YouTubers out there that just like shoot in different places? When they're talking, they just appear in a different place, like in the room or in their house. Like when they finish a sentence, boom, they're in another place. I don't know, I've just found that super strange. I guess to them, it just keeps the viewer, you guys, engaged so it doesn't seem like it's just in one place. I'm just used to sitting at my desk and filming and talking to you guys. You guys tell me, what do you like better? I like just shot this video, like this whole kind of, you know, thing that I'm doing here, and I was completely out of focus, so I'm reshooting right now. I looked when I went and put it in Premiere and imported it and kind of, you know, expanded it. I was completely out of focus, so I really hope I'm in focus right now, or else I'll have to film again. But anyway, guys, it's been way too long, and I apologize for that. Please don't hate me. It's been a while, but I've been super busy lately doing a lot of videos and photography and stuff like that, getting new clients. It's been awesome, but I've just been really busy. But in fact, let me show you guys what I've been doing lately. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to lately. It's been super busy, but I'm back on it, even though I'm still busy and everything like that, trying to juggle everything. I'm gonna do my best to upload at least twice a week. I'd love to have like a tutorial Tuesday or tutorial Thursday, and then some talking head stuff like I normally do too. Today we're gonna be talking about 5 ways that you can instantly make your videos look better. So I'm gonna stop rambling on and I'm just gonna get into it. So the first thing, and probably one of the most important things, is lighting. I would say lighting is like the #1 most important thing when shooting video. So if you're trying to get some cool B-roll and you're shooting outside, there's going to be 2 main times that you want to shoot throughout the day. One is either when the sun is coming up or when the sun is going down. That's called golden hour. You understand it is a huge hassle to either get up really early in the morning, get ready, get everything together, and go shoot. Shooting at golden hour can definitely get a little bit inconvenient, but there are ways around that. So for example, when I did my shoot with Tank, if you guys didn't see the vlog, definitely go check it out. One of the things that we really tried to focus on is, even though the sun was directly overhead and the light was really, really harsh, focused on shooting at places that had a lot of shade. Cool thing about that is that a lot of times what will happen is the sun will bounce off the ground, bounce off the cement, and give some really nice soft light to your subject. So if you can't shoot during golden hour, either first thing in the morning or towards sunset at night, try to find some places that have some nice shade. Second thing that can make your videos look a lot better is using an ND filter. If you don't know what an ND filter, ND stands for neutral density filter. The easiest way to put it, an ND filter is like sunglasses for your lens. So what an ND filter does is it allows you to keep control of all the settings that you have. So your aperture, your ISO, your shutter speed, all that stuff. So one of the main things when shooting is you want to keep what's called a 180-degree rule, and I've talked about it in a few of my other videos. If you haven't seen them, definitely go check them out. So basically what the 180-degree rule is for example, if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, you want to keep your shutter speed double that. So for example, if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, you want to keep your shutter speed at 50. Now the thing about shutter speed is, depending on where your shutter speed is at, that controls how much light it's letting into the camera. So in photography, on a super bright day, you may just adjust your shutter speed. Video, if you can't do that, then you're gonna wanna adjust either your aperture or your ISO. But let's say that your ISO is as low as it could possibly go. It's at 100 and it's still, everything is overexposed. What do you adjust then? Your ISO is already adjusted, your shutter speed is set, so now you have to adjust the aperture. The more you adjust the aperture to make the image darker, the less blurry it's gonna be in the background. Having a blurry background is really cinematic and nice looking. So in order to keep your aperture low, keep your ISO where it needs to be, your shutter speed, everything like that, you're going to want to use an ND filter. ND filter is basically going to darken the image, it's going to go right over your lens, and it's going to allow you to keep control of your settings when you're shooting during the day. So the third thing that you're going to want to do, which I know a lot of you are already doing, is shoot in slow-mo. I personally like shooting in 120 frames per second. The reason I like doing that is because it looks really nice and smooth. Right now I shoot with a Sony a6500, which allows me to do 120 frames per second at full HD. But I do understand that not every camera does that. For example, the camera I had before this, the Canon 6D Mark II, it shot in 60 frames per second at full HD. Even though the slow motion was decent, it's obviously not going to be as good as 120 frames. So even though I like the slow motion that came out of the 6D Mark II, I just feel like 120 frames just looks a little bit smoother and more cinematic. Before I had the 6D Mark II, I had the 5D Mark III, which could shoot in 60 frames per second, but it brought down the quality. It wasn't in full HD. So if you do want to shoot in slow motion, but you want to keep that quality high, definitely go check out my video on how to shoot at 24 frames per second and slow that down to 60 frames per second. I'll put that, like, you know, somewhere around there. Fourth thing that you're going to want to focus on is editing to your music. A lot of people online that are shooting and they're not editing to the music. A lot of you do it, but a lot of you don't do it. Editing to your music can enhance the video so much more. It's something that I consider incredibly important. If you don't do it, it can throw off the whole pacing of the video and it just doesn't look right. I'll show you an example here of what it means to edit to the music. So you can hear in that video, in the song, every time the drummer hits the snare, it cuts to another clip. So having your transitions synced with the music can make your videos look a lot better. And last but not least, this is very important as well, plan your shots for editing. So if you're shooting with that intention of knowing how you're gonna edit, it's gonna enhance your videos a lot more. So let's say, for example, you're moving your camera to the left and you wanna move behind something, and then do some masking to transition into another clip. The next clip that you do, you want to continue that left movement. So when you're shooting, take a minute, take 5 minutes to really focus on what you're going to do, what kind of movements you're going to do, and how you're going to follow through with that. That's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button below. And if there's some tips that you want to give to people, definitely comment that down below so that people, when they read the comments, they can get some tips from you as well. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.